Okay, so end of year, right? Time for reflection, setting goals, all that. And you know what? Everyone's got lists of journal prompts, like everywhere you look. But are those lists really doing anything for you?
That's the thing, isn't it? It's not just about filling pages. It's got to be more than that.
Exactly. So we found this blog post from Listallion, 50 end-of-year journal prompts, and it got us thinking.
We're going to dig into WHY these themes they use, these categories, actually matter.
It's like, what are you trying to get out of this, right? Clarity, motivation. We're going to break it down.
Because those prompts, they're like keys. Each one can unlock a different part of your year, help you see things differently.
And I love how organized they are in this post. They've got 5 categories, end-of-year journal prompts, reflecting on achievements.
Okay, I like that. I see where they're going.
Yeah, and then end-of-year journal prompts, learning from challenges.
Yeah.
That one's big, celebrating memories.
Got to have that positivity.
For sure. And then, hold on, I wrote these down. Personal growth and self-reflection and looking ahead to the future. It's like a whole roadmap,
And that's what we often miss, that bigger picture. People get stuck just listing what happened. But why did it matter? What'd you learn?
That's the good stuff.
Right. So instead of just this happened, then this happened, you start to see how it all connects.
Yeah.
And that's where the real change can happen, I think.
Totally. So let's jump into their first category. End-of-year journal prompts. Reflecting on achievements. Prompts 1 through 10. We probably won't get to all of them.
No way. 50 prompts. Are you kidding?
Right. But just to give you an idea, like number 6, this one asks, describe a moment this year when you felt the most proud of yourself. What made it so special?
Okay, and that's huge because we don't do that enough, do we? Celebrate the wins.
Totally. But even beyond celebrating, it makes you think about WHY. That moment was so good.
Like, what was it about that achievement, that feeling that really stood out?
Exactly. And analyzing that can teach you about yourself.
100%. It's not just a pat on the back. It's a learning opportunity. Like, okay, that felt good. I want to chase that feeling more, but how?
Right. Like I crushed it on that presentation at work, but was it the topic? Was I just feeling myself that day? What was going on there?
And then you start to see, oh, when I do this kind of prep, I feel more confident. It's all connected.
I love that. And it reminds me of another one in this section, prompt number 2. Reflect on a goal you set at the beginning of the year. Did you achieve it? If so, what steps did you take? If not, what were the obstacles?
Oh, that's a good one. So many people set goals and then just forget about them.
Totally. But this is making you go back, look at the process.
And that's how you improve, Like if you always set these big, lofty goals, but then life gets in the way.
Every single time.
Maybe your approach is the thing that needs tweaking, not your ambition. See what I mean?
Okay, that is good. I'm already seeing the value here. And then there's number 9. This one's short, but it makes you think. What was the biggest risk you took this year? Was it worth it? Explain why or why not.
Risks can be scary. That's why we got to analyze them, take the emotion out of it.
Otherwise, we'll just keep making the same choices, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so we've looked at celebrating achievements, analyzing those goals.
Yeah.
What's next in this roadmap they've got?
Challenges. That's got to be it, right? Learning from the tough stuff. End-of-year journal prompts. Learning from challenges. Numbers 11 through 20, we're in it now.
Bring on the tough love. No, but seriously, this is where things get really interesting. Because anyone can write a fluffy journal entry about good times.
It's facing those not-so-fun moments. That's the real work.
And that's what growth is all about, right?
Yeah.
But it's got to be more than, this year sucked. That gets you nowhere.
These prompts, though, they get specific. Like number 12. Reflect on a situation that didn't go as planned. How did you adapt and what did you take away from it?
There you go. So much better than just what was hard. This makes you analyze it.
Okay, so picture this. Remember that job interview, the one where you totally bombed it? Instead of just cringing.
Which we've all been there, by the way. No shame.
Exactly. You use this prompt, you break it down. What went wrong? Was it the preparation? Were you nervous? Did you just not vibe with the company?
And most importantly, what did you learn from it that you can take to the next interview?
Oh, that's good. Because you're not defined by that one bad interview, are you?
Nope. It's all about the lessons learned. It's like they say, you win or you learn.
Ooh, I like that. And it reminds me of another one here, number 17. It asks, what is one thing you would have done differently this year, and what would you do instead?
So actionable, right?
Okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
It's great to reflect, but what are you going to do with that knowledge?
Otherwise, it's just, what's the point, Exactly. Yeah. So we've tackled achievements. We've dissected those challenges. Are you ready for some lighter fare?
Do I even have to ask? Bring on the happy memories.
Let's do it. Time to dive into category number 3, end-of-year journal prompts. Celebrating memories. Prompts 21 through 30. It's about to get sentimental in here.
I love it. Okay, this section always reminds me of those old photo albums people used to keep.
Oh, with the sticky pages and everything.
Yes, except instead of pictures, we're capturing those core memories, those good vibes.
I like that. And you know what I appreciate of these prompts is they go beyond the obvious. It's not just what was your favorite vacation.
It's deeper than that.
Way deeper. Like, check out prompt number 24. What's a simple pleasure you rediscovered this year? It makes you think about those little things, you know.
The little things are huge. Like, when was the last time you actually stopped to smell the roses?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or that feeling of sunshine on your face after a long winter. Those simple pleasures, they add up.
Okay, and speaking of things that add up, I've got to mention prompt 28. What new experience brought you the most joy this year and why? Because trying new things, that's where the magic happens, am I right?
100%. Stepping outside that comfort zone, that's where you really learn about yourself. And honestly, that's a big part of what these prompts are all about, right?
Self-discovery, and there's a prompt for that too. Hold on, it's right. Ah, here it is, number 32. What limiting beliefs did you challenge or overcome this year? That's huge.
Because we all have those negative voices in our heads. But are we listening to them or are we telling them to shut it?
Ooh, I like that energy. It's like, yeah, I hear you, self-doubt, but I'm doing this anyway.
Exactly. And you know, on that note of self-love, prompt 27 really resonated with me. How did you practice self-love and acceptance this year?
Hmm.
So important.
Because we can't pour from an empty cup.
Preach. All right. Are we ready to shift gears one last time?
Let's do it. We've covered the past, we've dug into the present, now it's all about the future. End of year journal prompts. Looking ahead to the future. Prompts 41 through 50. Time to manifest some good stuff.
This is my favorite part. It's like, okay, we've learned from our mistakes. We've celebrated the wins. Now what?
Time to put all that wisdom to good use. I love it when a plan comes together. So, end of year journal prompts. Looking ahead to the future. We're in the home stretch here. Prompts 41 through 50. What's we got?
This is where we get intentional, right? Not just wishing for things to be different.
Give me all the manifestation vibes, and this post does not disappoint. Right off the bat, they hit you with prompt number 41. What does success look like to you in the year ahead? Love that.
Because it's so easy to get caught up in what everyone LSE is doing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Social media, comparing yourself. The comparison trap is real, but this brings it back to you. What actually matters?
Exactly. And speaking of what matters, prompt 46 asks, what steps can you take to create a more fulfilling and meaningful life in the coming year? That's deep.
It's not just about being busy, right? It's about aligning your actions with your values. And you know what else I love about this section? It encourages you to get a little bit brave.
Oh, tell me more. Grave, how? Well, like prompt 43, what adventure do you want to embark on in the coming year? Because sometimes we get so stuck in our routines, we forget to, live a little.
That's so true. And, you know, an adventure doesn't have to mean like climbing Mount Everest.
Unless that's your thing.
Of course. But it could be something small, learning a new skill, taking a different route to work, whatever sparks your curiosity.
Well,
it's that mindset shift.
totally. And that reminds me of another prompt from this section. It's actually the one I wanted to mention earlier. It's number 48. And it asks, what story do you want to tell about yourself a year from now? How powerful is that?
Ooh, that's good. It's like you're writing the script for your future self.
Yeah. Exactly. It's taking all this reflection, all these lessons learned, and using them to create something amazing. So as we wrap up our deep dive into these end-of-year journal prompts, what's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from this conversation?
Don't just let this year slip away. I mean it. Grab a journal, answer these prompts honestly, and use them to make the next year even better than the last.
Love that. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up for yourself. Taking that time for reflection, for intention setting. That's how you create a life you're truly excited to live.
Preach.
Okay, until next time, happy journaling, everyone.